couple of weeks now, we got to address it, like some of the big stories that have been happening in the preseason. And this is probably the biggest football-related one that we have right now, and that is Patrick Mahomes' mega deal, mega extension of 503 million. 10-year extension, so it's a 12-year total deal in total. Accumulating at its maximum potential, 503 million. So, let's break this down and go into what does it mean for Kansas City, and and what does it mean for Patrick Mahomes, really?
Well, I look at it this way. I'm now a little bit worried about the amount of money, but I think that this was good getting him. He's secured. He seems to be the real deal. You don't need, I hope he's not going to be one of these guys that gets a big deal and flames out. That has happened. His mentality just does not seem to be that kind of guy. I think this is really going to make Kansas City dynamic for maybe as many as 6 or 7 years at least.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, how many rings they win or not. Only time will tell, because you don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the league. Chris Jones was saying the other day, he guarantees, or he says anyway, I think he will use the word guarantee, that Kansas City, with the signing of him and Mahomes, is going to bring home 5 rings, 5 or more rings. You obviously never really know that, but it's definitely going to put them in top contention in the AFC for quite some time.
Look, my Dolphins had Dan Marino, who finished his career with 61, that's 6-1 individual or team records, most of them individual records. He got into the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was at 17 or 19, the Super Bowl 19. That was in January of 1985. We thought, oh yeah, so we lose to the 49ers. We'll be back. We're definitely going back to the Super Bowl. 16 more years, Dan Marino was our quarterback, and we never made it back to the Super Bowl. So anybody that puts a guarantee on it, they better shut their mouth, because I'm telling you, Dan Marino was, everybody acknowledged he was the best in the league at the time he was playing. But he didn't have a defense, and that's Kansas City better keep that defense. They better keep the defense, or they're not going to get back. They can have a wild offense, but lose a lot of games.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And I know we don't really talk NBA or anything, but that was, and he was probably just caught up in the moment, but that was one of the funniest things about LeBron when they did a big press conference with Miami Heat as well, when they had the big 3. They were like, we're not going to win 3. Not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 rings or whatnot. 10 championships.
That was the introductory. Yeah, that was the introductory celebration when
they won. They won 2 out. Was it 2 out of 3 finals, something like that? But they won 2 rings together anyway, and that was it. So
he was here for what, 5 years? I don't know. I don't follow the NBA really, so I don't know.
But the big thing that I always get worried about these mega deals as well, particularly in the NFL, and these mega deals aren't actually, these 10-year deals aren't actually something new, and that's something we can dive into another episode of all the players that have had these mega long deals in the NFL. But one of the things that always worries me with these long deals is injuries. I mean, what if 2 years down the line, Mahomes starts picking up injuries like Cam Newton or Carson Wentz? Because I feel like Carson Wentz has spent the majority of his career out injured. To be fair, certainly the majority of the last 4 years.
When he's on, he's good, but he's injured so much.
But he's not on a lot of the time, And I know we talked about Madden ratings. Behind the scenes, and that's one that makes me laugh, is how he gets such a Madden rating in the 80s, because he's always injured. I'm like, the guy needs to play first to get a rating, surely, does he not? So I mean, looking at the breakdown, I will say I do feel like Mahomes' deal is a bit more sizzle than steak, as they say. Like, yes, if he sees it out full everything with all the incentive, yes, 503 million is like wow.
Those
But
incentives are going to be tough to make,
exactly,
and
but if you
it's
look
not
at the
guaranteed.
breakdown,
It's not
exactly, if
right. It's not guaranteed. So only around 350 million of it's guaranteed.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I think and and the big thing, and this is where I want to ask you the question of, do you think it's really a team friendly deal, or how do you think it's going to affect the team? Um, because if you actually look at the deal, because I have it here in front of me. If you actually look at the deal from 2020 to 2031, the majority, I mean, he's got quite a good base salary, which I guess is the guaranteed money, but a lot of the money actually comes from the roster bonus.
correct.
So so
A
talking
lot of
about
it
the
is
injuries, if he happens to spend a whole season out injured, doesn't even step on the field for a game, or probably not even on the bench for a game, um, you know, the Chiefs have saved themselves about 35 million um, in that year, because I think at the lowest point, the roster bonus is just under 14 million. And at the highest point, it's 49.5 million.
well. This is also bringing me to my next point on this. We have heard the rumors. This is maybe a subject that can be explored later on when it becomes fully known what's going to happen. But there are rumors because of the problems with profits and everything this year.
Hmm.
The owners are going to take the salary cap and make it and dump it from 198 million this year down to maybe as far down as 160 million next year. Having him and his salary is, and so much of it guaranteed, he's not going to be able to negotiate out of some of it, because they can always, well, let's negotiate and I'll take a pay cut or I'll take a deferment. You can pay me after my career's over and after I'm retired and this contract is over, you'll still owe me some money
Yeah,
for,
I mean,
and
I
they can
think
defer the money. But,
I mean,
but
I'm just looking everything over like the 10 or 12-year period, but I think I did hear that they almost constructed it like it was like one 5-year deal and then one 7-year deal, because obviously he still has his
right.
2-year
No, yeah,
extension.
no, that's the
So
way
so
they
they
do it.
kind of done it like that. So when it comes to the last 5 or 7 years, depending on where Kansas are as a team and where Patrick is as a player, they could actually just totally restructure the deal. So I mean, it's a great headline grabber, but that's also another reason why I think it's more headline than it is substance a
Right,
lot of the time.
exactly.